Alcohol use disorder really impacted women after the pandemic. Well, it started during the pandemic, when we were locked at home, isolated, and, well, a lot of women started reaching for the bottle because we couldn't reach for each other.
A 71% majority of the total population, including men, felt they faced real consequences for losing control. Still, overall, they think there are more options available to help excessive alcohol use.
My name is Tina Todd. My sobriety date is May 10th of 2024. One of the things that I've experienced in recovery is the uprooting of all this trauma that I had spent so many years numbing, ignoring, doing anything I could to get rid of it. And now I'm left with, how do you deal with it? And how do you deal with the emotions that come with all of that? So I'm here today to experience equine therapy.
A group of us, women that I know, and they're looking to heal the trauma and the self-talk and the negativity and all the stories that we tell ourselves. That's why we're here.
I can tell you about equine assisted psychotherapy, but it's one of those modalities that you really have to have the experience. And a lot of times folks will come in, they're kind of hesitant, and how is this going to help me? And usually by the end, they see that value. But I think it is one of those things that it's not so well known. As a profession, I try to promote this profession because I know how well it works.
And you're going to get to experience this with us. And how we start to create new memories, new self-narratives that really retell what we believe in ourselves.
Who are you trying to kill? Fighting with the cast around a half-broke wrist, skin on the road from a handlebar twist. Can't make sense of the story they gave us. Money won't do it, but the Lord might save us. All sins are forgiven. Jesus on the walls. Hell, Uncle Mike's in heaven, and there ain't no Santa Claus. Yeah, who do you think you are, kid? Bare feet on the tar, kid. Crashing daddy's car, kid. Grow up fast like your mama did. Teenage baby had a baby. All them dreams turn into maybes now. Healthy never, forever young ain't young forever. Ain't that the truth about the truth? I'll put a world of hurt on you. A broomstick poking the bite spokes. A joke's on you. Who are you trying to get?
My name's Carol. My daughter Grace was born from an alcoholic mother, and she had all sorts of issues. And behaviorally, it was really challenging. And I had a friend that encouraged me to look into horses. And she wasn't a trained therapist, but she said she knew just being around the horses would help Grace. And I was really nervous because she was little and very spastic, and it was really amazing because even on the first day when we went, I don't know if it was just being around such huge animals or if their energy, I don't know, but she just calmed.
First thing is to approach the horse. When you approach at a diagonal. Of course, if he approaches us, go right back way. When we approach at a diagonal towards their belly or their rib cage. They're prey animals, so they have eyes on the side of their head, best line of sight. Direct blind spot in front of them, direct blind spot behind them.
Animals are sensitive creatures, and I know that they can kind of sense how we feel internally.
Like I had never seen her calm. And she listened and she cooperated. And I mean, we're talking 5. It didn't take but 2 or 3 sessions, and some of that was carrying over to not being around the horses. It was just calming her overall.
I think a lot of times for us in our journey, we find the hardest thing is to sit still and to sit in our feelings. And the horses can help us with that, right? We can do rhythmic breathing with them. We can put our hands on. We can breathe together and become mindful. These are sentient beings, right? Like Mike said, they're at liberty. They are sentient beings. They make their choices. So it's always paying attention to when a horse chooses to or chooses not to come up. But first, everyone take a deep breath. Horses live in the present, right? They live in the present, and they're going to give you some information, okay? But it's also important if you start to feel unsafe that you use your voice. So empowering for us as women. Use our voice. Ask for what we need, okay?
I've never really experienced anything like equine therapy. The only thing closest we had on the reservation is horse camps. And horse camps consist a total of 4 days where someone would come out and talk with the kids and show them how to saddle and get a horse ready for riding. But also within those little teachings, they would tell them how they need to treat the horses and reflect back to their own lives. Learn about how to do little things to be respectful to animals and to themselves.
The one thing that I am nervous about is that being said with their sensitivities, because, you know, insecurities is a big part of alcoholism. I'm just afraid that the animal's gonna look at me and say, I don't wanna get near that person. And that's kind of like bringing up a little bit of other like anxieties. And I'm gonna, you know, take this experience and learn how to move past that. This is all a really great kind of full circle, I guess, as far as trauma.
Dry bones rattling a lonely soul, slipped and fell into a deep black hole. I can tell you're lost, I'm here for you. Wildfires burning you down to stone, blind eyes turning from a world so cold. A million miles apart within my reach. It's not like me to worry, but when I see you fading in the dark, I'll leave a light on for you. Through the long nights, I will be right there for you. If you drift too far, I'll leave a light on for you. You.
Chalk-covered barn walls declare the person we are becoming and the one we are leaving behind. From spray-painted walls to tagged bridges, graffiti plays a significant role in defining our communities, our culture, and the places we call home. It fosters a sense of belonging, making us feel included. Murals pop up boldly throughout our cities. Graffiti in its various forms, such as murals, tags, and street art, can make powerful statements about community and politics. It is often used as a tool for empowerment and social change, showcasing its versatility, fluid in its ability to be identifiable, while mirroring the community it represents. Writing or scribbling in public places, a tradition that has been a part of human existence for thousands of years, is the historical root of graffiti. This rich cultural tradition connects us to our ancestors. In the 1st century BCE, Romans inscribed messages on walls, and thousands of miles away, Mayans prolifically scratched drawings onto surfaces to make statements or voice opinions. Regular people marked public walls with magic protection spells to champion their favorite heroes.
How does it feel for you to see that one separate from that one?
Maybe he was the shunned one, the one who didn't
I
feel
was
like he
thinking
fit
that
in.
too. I was like, I hope
Right?
he's
Like,
not the nerd.
his stance is kind of like, I'm ready to just protect myself right now. And that's a familiar experience.
How many of us create a story in relationships or with other people? Create a story. And we also then use that story to create a story about how they see us. Right? Right? So interesting, because just by observation, you made a story. You started a narrative about what was going on with the herd. Right? We do a lot with mindfulness. And again, as prey animals, horses are using their five senses. So as we're interacting, they're listening, right? And a lot of times, walking our walk every day, especially when we have guilt and shame and trauma, sometimes we walk our walk like this, and horses help us to walk our walk like this. Use all your five senses. Be aware. Be in your moment.
So I am an older woman, and I started my drinking career as a teenager, like a lot of people in my position did. And the one thing that brought was really bad relationships, both male and female, because there's really no way to connect to people if you are battling with yourself at the same time.
I have been looking into equine therapy, and women with alcohol use disorders, specifically after the pandemic, we were all isolated, right? But what seemed to happen to women was it really brought to light that self-talk that we really start tearing ourselves apart.
So I burn my clothes, the ones I curse when I'm alone, and I trace the night and architect a shattered sky, and all the things I fear fade away with the coming year, a resolution in the chaos that I made. But I'm not weak, my brain's a hurricane of sky and sea, beside instead of broken curse on me. I'm not the one who bleeds with every odyssey.
My big issues with alcoholism started at this onset of COVID, with a lot of people. Even though I had had issues with drugs and alcohol my whole life, it didn't come to a head until the pandemic. And I was isolated, and everything ramped up to the point of uncontrol, unmanageability, and my life and my health took a turn south. And I still didn't believe I was an alcoholic. So it took a lot to get to this point, and then to be able to come into these programs and see other people who had my experiences.
Being in a supportive group of women has been transformational for me. I began going to mixed groups, and it was great, but it was dangerous being around men. I didn't trust them. I'd been hurt by them. Being around a supportive group of women that were safe allowed me to open up, allowed me to feel free enough to be vulnerable and get real and get honest and heal. Well, anytime I can get more in touch with myself is a blessing. That has been a real journey. I didn't like myself, I didn't trust myself, I didn't know myself. So I've heard that it's like layers of the onion, you know, there's always one more layer.
For me, as somebody that has stayed sober for a while, it really is the key to unlocking the rest of my life. And that, I believe, how we can really start to change this really public health crisis that has come around. Because medical models really aren't fulfilling the gap. And thinking of ways we can create new mindfulness connections, and music, art, and well, these guys, animals, how we connect with our soul, how we connect with our spirit, where our feet are. That's what we're here to do.
From the lake, the words you drown leave a bitter taste inside your mouth. Whatever you have sheathed will throw itself against your teeth until you have the guts to let it out.